Alright, it's the Pop Tower Podcast, episode 38. I can't think of too many franchises that have made it to 38. Unless you can't television, in which case I can think of a lot. But that's neither here nor there. I am Peter W. Dawson.
I'm James Bullock.
And we're here to talk about video games, movies, and television. Well, technically TV will be the second thing we talk about.
Yeah.
And even that's not really TV, it's a thing. How you doing today, James?
I'm feeling okay. I mean, just the fact that I hate to foreshadow, but we are definitely Jinx. Like, we have the power. That's our superpower in this podcast universe.
Well, it can happen. I mean, sometimes destiny just repeats itself.
But at least we are gifted.
Yep. And maybe one day we'll finally find our mate Gavin. Gavin!
Yeah. Where are you? Where's my friend? Have you seen my friend Gavin?
For those that picked up that reference, yes, we're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. And, so, quick backstory for those that aren't familiar. The Red Dead series is actually 3 games.
Yeah.
Most people forget about Red Dead Revolver, which is a 2004 game.
Yeah, on the PS2.
As far as I can tell, not a lot of people played.
Yeah, I just rented it. I had no idea what it was about. Just picked it up because it had Rockstar logo on it.
Yeah, like, it sold well enough to warrant a sequel years later, but even then it was not an instant hit. Whereas, like, was it, the 2010 sequel, which didn't really have a lot to do with the Revolver from what I remember.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it was just basically the kind of the same, because it was really more definitively GTA Wild West.
Right.
And, Red Dead Redemption, 2010, set in 1911, which was an interesting time for a Wild West game, but I'm sure that's one of the reasons they did it. Had multiplayer when nobody really had fathomed a multiplayer in a GTA-type setting. And it was one of the most expensive video games at the time.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to playing it the first time. It was incredibly huge. Like, even compared to Grand Theft Auto 4.
And I'm going to say a number that's going to be really important in a moment here.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption, as of 2017, sold over 15 million copies.
Wow.
Sold and shipped, I want to emphasize. And it was a lot of people's game of the year. It probably was mine in 2010. If it wasn't, it was like a runner-up.
Yeah, it really was.
And of course, it had a really famous DLC in 2011, Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. That was one of the ones that gave kind of like the template of how you should do a DLC.
Yeah. There's only been a handful of DLCs I can think of that have really come close.
Yeah. I can think of like the original Fallout 3 DLCs were pretty good.
Yeah.
Some of the Borderlands, the original Borderlands games DLCs were really good. And I believe Skyrim had a couple of really good DLCs.
Oh, it totally did. And even like Bethesda, their DLC overall quality from game to game has varied greatly. Like, New Vegas arguably had weaker ones than 3.
I hated New Vegas' DLCs.
Yeah, and 4 almost universe. Like, a lot of people liked Far Harbor.
Yeah, Far Harbor was like the only decent one.
Yeah, Nuka World didn't really grab a lot of people, and the other
not at all.
3 of the other ones were essentially just construction.
Yeah, just construction packs. That was it.
Yeah, just kind of disappointing in the world with DLC, but
especially when we
mods.
paid $30 for that season pass.
Yeah, I only paid $20.
That's what I did for Mortal Kombat, but I couldn't do it with this one.
Yeah,
I felt so redeemed about it because it's like, I loved Fallout 3's DLC so much. I knew this was going to be great, so.
Yeah,
that's one of the few buyer's remorses I have, unlike Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, so Red Dead Redemption 2 just came out, I want to say August? Yeah, October. Why did I say August?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, October 26th. So we're really recording this about a month after it came out. That's not bad.
Yeah, but even then we recording this right after, which is one of the major things, the online beta drop.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to play the online yet. I know you have, so I'll be leaning into you for that, which will be good. Helps make sure we both talk, because of course I always do the intros to these, and I'm like, shut up, Peter.
That's what you just need. I'm just like Dutch. I have faith. That's all.
Yeah. So remember, lifetime Red Dead Redemption 1 sold 15 million. I don't know if you got the Wikipedia page open or anything like that open.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Did you look at the number, or do you want me to say it?
No, tell him. because
17 million copies in 2 weeks.
Yes.
To say this is probably going to be the best-selling game of the year is, well, it's an understatement, and it's not even on PC. It's on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which is a good chunk of the mobile market. I mean, obviously the Switch, which is debatable if it's really mobile or if it's really portable, hasn't gotten it and probably won't.
There's no way.
Like, as good as the Switch is, it's not that good.
No.
PC is going to probably get it at some point, but I mean, it took PC over a year to get GTA 5, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is going to be another one of those. Yeah, and in this case, we're looking at a game that was set in 1899, so about 12 years before Red Dead Redemption, which is interesting when you consider, I feel like there's discrepancy with one of the characters, which I'll get to later.
Okay.
But that's a very minor quibble compared to some other stuff we'll be talking about the game, especially how freaking good it is. Because, yeah, okay, let's say this up front. I don't know 100% if it's going to be my game of the year, but I almost guarantee it's going to be it'll probably be number 2, or at worst number 3.
Mm.
And even then, the difference between them for me would be, this is why I don't like numbering things.
I know. That's why I always do chronological. I get the pressure.
Oh, absolutely. I do like to have one flat-out game of the year, this is the one I will probably think of in years and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I want to champion all the time.
Yeah, I'm still one of the few people who likes to champion Fallout 4, but I mean, I totally understand people who pick Witcher 3, which came out the same year. And, I mean, again, the difference between those two was tight. But I honestly always have more enthusiasm to replay Fallout 4 than I do Witcher.
Mm.
I think it's just because it's easier to get out and explore in 4
I was about to
Witcher.
say the same thing. As one of those games is easily a little bit more accessible.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I always hesitate with the Yakuza games, because they can take so long to open up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to really think about that if I end up wanting to put a Yakuza game in my top this year, which is possible because we have a few.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few selections this year.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? In this case, this is definitely going to be a point. We're going to go probably a few point counterpoint for this game.
Okay.
This game has a long tutorial.
Very much so. It's one of those things where I'm thinking that missions are just missions for the heck of it, but when you realize, man, they are really sprinkling out the information and stuff you can do.
Yeah. Once you finally start getting through the game, though, I mean, it's probably the one thing is the tutorial drags a bit, but they drop a lot of stuff on you in terms of character right away that I think entire games have failed to do over the course of, like I said, the whole game. That sentence got away from me, but my point is, very quickly you are familiarized with these characters, and you have a pretty good idea of who they are.
Yeah, it doesn't take long before you understand the relationships, you understand exactly why they're part of this game, and even, the new guys that come in, like Lenny.
Yeah.
You kind of understand quickly, their backstory and their history. There's a couple of the NPCs that just hang around the camp that I got really attached to, and it just was added to the fact that they actually have, little missions attached to them, too, later on in the game.
Oh, exactly. Just the characters are all just really well defined.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's here's the characterization that was missing from GTA 5.
And who was the most annoying character to you that you actually did like?
I don't know. A couple of them were pretty annoying, but I mean, I honestly can't decide. Do you want to say one?
I have to go with Micah. Handlebar mustache Micah, yeah. And it's not even annoying bad. It's annoying this guy's such a jerk that you want to punch him, but he does things that redeems himself so much when it comes to trying to make money.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't really want to classify that as annoying.
No, I mean, it's one of those best friend annoying kind of deals. It's not he's got those kind of traits that makes him annoying, but it's not I hate you annoying.
Sorry about that. I tried to cough away from the microphone. I don't know how.
It couldn't work. No, you've been riding saddles too much. You got a little bit of horse fever. That's all. A little bit of allergies from the horse riding. That's all.
I got the black lung, Pop. I'm not long for this world. Yeah, but you didn't expect me to bust out a Zoolander reference, did you?
Oh man, that was great.
That made you laugh more than I thought it would. Yeah, no, like the characterization is by far some of the best I've ever seen in a video game. Like, I always praise the Yakuza games for having really good characterization, and this game rivals that for me.
You know what? And you brought that about GTA 5. I think one of the biggest things about GTA 5, and to a certain extent even 4, was that they had to kind of like they went a little bit too far with the satirical nature of the characters and trying to be kind of absurd just to fit into the world because of how absurd Los Santos was.
What satire?
And
there's nothing satirical about it. It was just stupid.
Well, we want to go with what they're marketing. We'll go with their marketing techniques here. It was satire.
I need to show them what satire is.
But like with this, it's so realistic, and like even the cornier, goofier stuff is still kind of based in realism.
Well, yeah, this is the weird thing because like GTA 5 had this weird realism bent, which I did not like, and it contrasted poorly with like the wacky narrative.
Exactly.
This game is a serious game, so you can be a little more forgiving of the realism that ensues. Now, I don't know if I want to broach... I should probably just start broaching this now. I do think this game goes too realistic.
To a certain extent for me. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, like, if it wasn't... Like, if you ignore probably the tediousness of one particular minigame, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I do dislike how much busy work they added to some other stuff. Like, specifically caring for your horses.
You know, that didn't really bother me that much.
No, that's not that bad. It still annoys me.
Like, the only thing that annoys me is just the fact, like, brushing and stuff like that doesn't really make a difference. And there was, like, one little tip they give you, like, if your horse is dirty, take him to the water and, like, put him in a river or something. Just, like, walk through the river a little bit, and I'll walk through the river and didn't do a thing. Like, like, little things like that. Like, you have to go to a stable if you want to make sure your horse is in good shape.
I know, I just didn't care. Like, it felt like extra busy work, which I wasn't feeling, because, I mean, you know, the whole point is to explore, and I don't like being told to slow down when I'm exploring.
Right. Like, the only problem I had in terms of horses actually was more of a technical flaw. It was like trying to hitch the horse. Like, sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah, like GTA's always had this problem where when buttons do multiple things, you can have really stupid accidents happen.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest flaw with this game. Is the just random nature of certain button presses. Like, I'm expecting, okay, one moment you have circle as the button you open things, and then the next moment it's square. Like, it depends on what situation it is. I hate that.
I know. Well, it's like GTA 5. Open parachute and answer phone is the same button.
Right.
And answer phone takes priority over parachute, which is a bad thing. And likewise, like, strangle person over hitch horse.
Yeah.
I think that's one of them.
Oh, I had that happen. I literally...
Yeah. Like,
I tried to get on my horse, and I choked a dude. I did. It was in Valentine.
There's GIFs all over the internet of stuff like that, which are pretty great. I was going to say, one of the realism things, though, that didn't bother me so much was... calling your horse, because in real time it honestly wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That was another thing. Like, people were complaining about that on the internet before the game dropped. I mean, before I played the game, and it was like, it takes forever. Why does it take so long for your horse to arrive when you whistle? It doesn't.
No, it really does. Like, it does. It takes about as long as it takes for Roach to show up in The Witcher.
Exactly.
3. That's still not great, because Roach was memed like crazy for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as bad. It's not as good as I can think, like Dynasty Warriors. It's hilariously easy to call your horse. Like, that's probably the easiest off the top of my head. Slightly harder would be Breath of the Wild. This is and then Witcher, and then I'm trying to think of an example where it really does take forever, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. There is worse examples, though.
Right.
I know there are. I remember playing games where I'm like, I'm just not gonna bother with this. It takes too long. Yeah. Like the calling your horse thing was, and like cleaning your horse isn't that bad. It's a little annoying, but it's kind of replaces the fact that you need to be able to summon horses, so you still need to be able to do some kind of maintenance, whereas like in GTA you would just swap cars.
Exactly.
So it's kind of the trade-off for that, and I'm like, I guess that works.
Yeah, and they have your little stable and everything, and they want you to kind of become attached to it because it's an animal instead of just a regular vehicle, so...
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay. What's your feeling on having to constantly re-equip your big gun?
You know what, the funny thing about it, I didn't have that much of a problem, like, in the last, 10 or 15 hours or so, maybe 20 hours, but, like, the first half of the game, for some reason, like, the first 2 or 3 chapters, it would take my weapons away. It was like probably the 4th chapter, for some reason, it automatically didn't do it. But, like, the first 3 chapters, it would take my weapons away. Anytime I got off the horse.
Yeah, I know, like, that was really annoying really early on. Because then you have to re-equip things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, that's tedious. And, I mean, like, I know it's realistic that you don't want to take your guns into certain places, but I was like, come on.
I love the fact that, as realistic as you say, as you bring that part up, if, say, you want to change it to your winter clothes that you have stored on your horse, he just automatically has the clothes on, just magically appear.
I know, this is what I'm saying, like...
he doesn't get off the horse,
give me some consistency.
There's no animation.
Like, give me some consistency, and, I will say, though, the level of I want to say something positive, because there's obviously something we still haven't gotten to that
Beard physics.
I didn't like.
Beard physics.
Like, what?
Beard physics.
Yeah, beard physics I liked.
Yeah.
And just the sheer amount of customization.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just clothing, guns. Oh, man. The gun customization.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I live for that type of thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I love it.
And it's, like, good custom design. It's not, like, ugly, stupid bling. Like, there's a lot more going into it, and I love it. Like, oh, and I will point out one part of realism. Wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it. No, I'm not going to talk about the horse testicle thing. That's the closest we're going to get to
the
that.
Horse pooping?
Yeah. Well, the horse pooping I like, but although I kind of wish you could have weaponized it like in Phantom Pain. Just weaponized horse poop in a video game. That's something my mother, who I normally never talk to video games about, loved. So I talked to you about video game. Man, I cannot talk... I think the sneezing and everything is throwing me off. Yeah, but... What was this? I was talking about... the shouting thing. Okay. I don't know if you noticed this, but when people are talking to you, if they get a certain distance away, they'll start shouting.
Yeah.
Like, that is... Like, that really tells me that, like, they had enough care to basically have people record the lines twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because in some cases, it seems like it's slightly different as a result.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. I noticed the distance, especially if somebody's trying to get your attention. I also noticed, like, just the random occurrences, and you can... Just the way the characters react, even NPCs. If, say, you accidentally bump into somebody, and they get upset with you, and you walk away, it's a different tone in their voice as the further you get away or the closer that you are. And sometimes they're a little bit less hostile when you get closer to them than they are if you start walking away.
Yeah, I know. It's fascinating. Like, they really put a lot of effort into their NPCs, and I will totally give the game credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the type of effort that is noticeable and is really enjoyable for the immersion. I'm bashing the overemphasis on realism, but some of the emphasis was good.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
I'm not going to say that emphasis on realism is necessarily a bad thing. I really think this game, much like GTA 5 did, like they have a history of this, they maybe leaned too far into the realism of some aspects, and it made it a little more tedious, and I wouldn't care as much if this wasn't a game that encouraged exploration.
Mm.
Like, that's where I come down to it. Don't make your exploration game tedious. I mean, I don't know how Breath of the Wild managed, but somehow they made it less tedious, even though you have weapons you have to constantly worry about that are going to break, and you don't know what the durability is. Like, that could have really backfired on them if they hadn't been more careful. And in this case, like, it's not enough to break the game by any stretch of the imagination. Like I say, at worst, it's like, I had fun with this game, but every once in a while I get really annoyed with it. And it's not because of something I've forced upon myself, like forcing myself to play a mini game that I normally wouldn't bother with because I want to get an achievement. Like, this is pretty much a major game mechanic. Although one that you could probably ignore is the one that I really don't like.
Right, yeah. You told me about it, which is hunting. And, outside of the mandatory mission, then they introduced the game, and it's like 2 mandatory missions where they introduce the hunting mechanic. And outside of those 2, I really haven't done any. Like, I might hunt like a random animal, but that's just for skin and for extra food for the camp.
Yeah.
But in terms of like legendary hunting, I really haven't done it, and I really don't have any interest to. Like, it's just one of those things, like, it's enough to keep me busy that I really don't have any interest in doing it.
No, and it really just feels like too much busy work.
Yeah,
like the sheer amount of stuff.
And one thing that that I was surprised about, because everybody was talking about how small like the inventory is and stuff, and like it can be small at times, but majority of the time it isn't. And I was thinking like, I gotta upgrade my satchel as fast as possible, but I really haven't had to, so like I haven't had to bother to worry about hunting.
Yeah. I mean, like every step of the process, like sneaking up on the animal, targeting the weak point, making sure to use the right weapon, then skinning it and bringing back everything to your horse. Like each one of those steps is really, really tedious. And it was probably perfect in Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, yeah, you can just shoot it off your horse with like a pistol or something, and the bigger gun you use, maybe the less quality pellet you get, etc. Especially if you use something explosive. You know, you don't want to hunt an armadillo with dynamite.
Yeah. It's a random South Park reference.
Yeah. There's plenty of other references for that type of thing, but yeah, in this case, I think they went too far. I don't know. I just luckily hunting's very easy to ignore because I mean, it takes forever to make it profitable to begin with, and it's just like, no.
Right.
It's very much like GTA 5. Yeah, if you actually want to make money in this game, you have to play the stock market. And I was like, well, I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, and unlike GTA 5, the stock market was easily broken in GTA 5, whereas in this, you just got to actually work and try to do some stuff to get it done. But there are glitches here and there. I don't know if they've like patched them out though now, but
oh yeah, they've been patching like crazy.
Oh yeah, but
Rockstar's been really good about the patching. I'm hoping eventually they'll patch up the take away your guns thing because I'm wondering if that was not by design.
Yeah. Like I said, that might have actually been at the late. I don't know if it's still affecting you, but maybe they fixed it with the last patch. I don't know.
Yeah.
The 1.03 patch.
Yeah. No. Like, I just want to emphasize, this game is so good. We've been emphasizing what we don't like, but I mean, that's basically all we got.
Yeah. What about missions for you? Because I was surprised that some of the more stereotypical missions happen so early.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
like we had a train robbery. A couple of hours in, if that much, maybe 3 hours in, which was completely shocking to me. We've had
after how long the tutorial was. I mean,
yeah, maybe that's a good point.
Because that's basically when the tutorial stops.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, we're gonna rob a train.
Yeah, because it's like the tutorial in freaking Red Dead 1 was essentially like, here's a bunch of cattle rustling missions, and then you start doing more interesting stuff for the rest of the game.
Yeah, for me, it's like if I have one flaw when it comes to the missions is the lack of kind of innovation in terms of like what I can do and what I can't do. Like it's still cut and dry. Mm-hmm. One example is a very early mission when you first get to Valentine, and one of the girls that are with you starts getting harassed. The first time I did it, I followed the guy that was harassing her and shot him. Yeah. And that was mission failed.
Huh.
So then I had to replay the mission, and you have to let him go. Essentially, you have to let him go. I don't find out until very late on exactly why, but it's just one of those things like, it feels like you're given freedom and you're not necessarily.
Yeah, it's true.
And I mean, that's been a problem with any open world game, and you know, this is no different, but it just feels like one of those things that this felt like I should have more opportunities to finish missions in multiple ways, but I really don't.
Yeah. It can happen.
Yeah.
So here's hoping, but I mean, the game.
It's so minor though.
I know.
Nitpicky things we're coming up with. It's so minor.
Well, I would say the over realism isn't entirely nitpicky.
Yeah. I think that's subjective more so than nitpicky.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely... Well, I mean, every criticism is more or less subjective.
Yeah. Unless we're talking about Fallout 76.
Yeah, apparently. No, I've met people who really like the narrative. Because I guess I could see on paper why it's a good narrative, but let's not talk about 76.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. But the narrative here is built on such great characters.
Oh yeah, and what's great is there's an actual chance to roleplay.
Yes.
Like, and it feels way more natural than what they tried to do in GTA. Again, like, it's like they took some of the worst stuff of GTA 5, got rid of it, and took the best parts of Red Dead, brought them together,
a majority
and we got a... Sorry?
I said improved upon a majority of it.
Yeah, like, it's probably the best thing Rockstar has made since Red Dead 1.
You know, the funny thing...
Red Dead Redemption 1.
The funniest thing for you to say that is the exact same thing I told somebody else.
Yeah.
It's the best Rockstar game I played. I started thinking about it. I was like, since Grand Theft Auto, no, since Red Dead Redemption, it's the best game that they've made.
Oh, yeah. No question. Like, it goes to show, despite everything that, like, and who knows what they're going to do once online goes full live, because, I mean, GTA 5, despite giving away all the DLC for free, they still have the microtransactions for money.
Right. And they have it here. They have it on online. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's there.
And there are some arguments whether or not, you know, how, if the payouts for missions on GTA Online are fair or not compared to, you know, buying the money.
After playing online a little bit for Red Dead 2, I think the payouts are okay. Like, the payouts are fine if the prices for things were the same as they are in the single-player game.
Okay, but they probably won't be.
Oh, no, they have the stores open already. Like, you can buy equipment and clothing and ammunition, all that kind of stuff. And it is a lot higher in the online offering than it is off in single-player. Like, for example, I think a bow and arrow is like $5 in the single-player. Online, it's like $100. Oof. Like, that's the kind of price, and I don't understand why. I don't know, maybe they didn't want to, like, make the beta full of people with, like, high-powered weaponry so early.
Maybe.
But I think that this is going to be the pricing going forward, because I don't think, like, first impressions, they're going to have the highest number in the beta than they would for the full game. It's just weird like that, because then you open it up to actually have, like, low-leveled, high-powered characters with high-powered weaponry.
Yeah.
Other than that, a majority of the, like, single-player actions, you know, be it the mechanics, the overall mechanics, the hunting and all that stuff, you can do it online.
Yeah, like, I was going to say, with the pricing, though, the same thing happened with GTA 5 versus GTA Online.
Mm-hmm.
Because weapons cost way more money on GTA Online. Yep. I can't remember how much more, but I know they cost more, or they did. Who knows? Maybe that's changed. Yeah, and like, I think what it comes down to is, because we've been talking about this for a while, and I do kind of want to move on now. If you even are remotely interested in Red Dead 2, you should probably get it. The only exceptions I can think of where you shouldn't get this game, besides the fact that if you're just a PC gamer and you don't have it, in which case, wait for the PC version. Hopefully it'll be good, because, I mean, you know, GTA 5, well, it took forever. It came out working fairly well.
It came out good. It came out, because I believe it wasn't around the same time with the Xbox One and PS4 versions, too. Like, all of them dropped at the same time.
Yeah. The only problem was the online functionality. Yeah. Because they were banning people by accident.
Yeah.
But that's pretty minor in the grand scheme. I mean, it's not great for those guys, but because the only exceptions I can think of is if you're a person who's obsessed with getting achievements and you're worried the hunting is going to be too tedious. Like, if you absolutely have to get 100% in this game,
you're in for a long start.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a job.
I definitely wouldn't recommend this game if you're trying to get achievements in a reasonable amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's probably going to be the one exception, and the other one is, of course, you know, if you have some grudge against Rockstar, and I mean, you could probably think of something corporate that they've done that have pissed people off, but I mean...
And if you don't like online microtransactions...
Oh, yeah, that's true. They're, like I said, they're not the worst offenders by far.
Oh no, not at all. But it's one of those things where it's obvious because it got unlike GTA 5 where they had shark cards, this one is gold bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are going to be spending a lot of real money to buy those bars to try to get as much as they can. But other than that, one thing I have to note before we close out with this, in terms of the online portion, that I think they've done so much better than GTA 5 Online, is there's an actual story this time.
Oh, that's good.
So, you actually have a character that you make, which isn't the best. Even though mine came out looking like Danny Glover, I don't know how it happened.
You look like a Wild West Danny Glover now.
Yes, it was
that's amazing.
I don't know how I did it. I wasn't even trying. I just like, okay, this is how I want my guy to look. And then I did a cutscene of him. It's like, man, he looks like Danny Glover. He was in the West. And they actually have a story. So anytime you do a story mission, you're matched up with 4 or 3 other players. So you had the team aspect of working together to complete the story in this game. And so far, I've had very quick load times, very quick matchmaking. But I've noticed that the servers have kind of had that problem of server issues going down as the game has opened up more and more. So, I mean, of course it's a beta, but it's one of those things that you had to be prepared. If you're like in the middle of a mission or you're trying to, prepared to sell a pelt, a rare pelt or something, there's a chance it could go down on you and you will have to start all over again.
Yeah. That's... Well, like I said, I'm probably not going to touch the online function too much because I barely touch GTA Online.
Well, same here. Like, I'm not a big... both of us are not big multiplayer online people, but the fact of the matter is, I thus far, I've enjoyed what I've played, but there are definitely some flaws that hopefully they start working around and start fixing to just make the overall online experience even better for those who want to keep playing after they finish the offline stuff.
Yeah. Well, sorry, just 1 second here. Like I said, it's one of those days. I think on that note, we should probably transition, yeah?
11.5 out of 10.
11.5?
Do like, oh man.
What are you, meltzering your game score?
Yeah, I'm just like screwing it all up now. Like,
sounds like Rockstar really paid their IGN.
Yeah,
bill.
they really helped me out this time.
I didn't know you worked for IGN.
They broke the bank on us this time.
Yeah. All right, let's talk television real quick. So, well, again, technically streaming. Hey, guess what we're going to talk about? It's Daredevil.
Oh, man.
People are not going to be talking about Marvel stuff, and then we have to talk about Marvel stuff.
Yeah, every time. Not only that, but we don't plan to talk about Netflix stuff, and then we start to talk about Netflix stuff.
I know. Like, I'm... So, Daredevil has been canceled.
Yes, 3 seasons down, and it is over.
Okay, I know Daredevil Season 3 got good numbers.
Yeah, and even though I don't think it's got the best ratings on the internet in terms of in comparison to the first 2 seasons, but I thought it was one of the stronger, if not the strongest season of the 3.
Yeah.
And
it was definitely not as strong as the first, but it's better than
yeah, okay, good point, yeah. And if you want to listen to our review, make sure you check it out. That was the last episode, so...
I know, that's the thing.
we keep doing this.
Yeah, and it wasn't too long ago we were talking about Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And
yes, and it was like the next audio we did, it was like, everything canceled.
I'm just calling it now. Jessica Jones is done. Like, it may get a 3rd season, but then it's done.
I really think they're going to cancel it before they even announce. Are they working on it now, or?
I haven't seen anything one way or the
other.
That's
what I thought. I haven't seen a thing about it, so...
We are getting Punisher Season 2.
We know that.
That'll probably be done, too.
Yeah, after that, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can see Jessica Jones getting the axe, probably by the new year. Mm-hmm. And, like you said, after Punisher finishes up, that's it for that. Which, once again, I really believe your theory is correct of why this all is going like the way it is.
Yeah. It's got to have something to do with Disney streaming.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing, because, I mean, we've seen more and more now. What is it? We've got a low-key miniseries coming with Tom Hiddleston.
Yep.
We've got a Scarlet Witch one with Elizabeth Olsen. Why couldn't I think of that name? We're supposedly also going to get a Falcon and Winter Soldier team-up miniseries, or possibly movie. But this will all be on streaming, though, for sure.
Right.
And then potentially a Rocket Raccoon Groot series.
Mm-hmm.
Which would make sense since Guardians 3 is on indefinite hold for reasons we really shouldn't talk about, because that's going to become very political very fast.
Very much so.
Yeah. And really, I don't feel confident saying anything one way or the other anyway.
No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, there's certain things I'll say. There's certain things I'll be like, well, this and that. Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't be dwelling on this. So we know they're doing all that. We know they're doing, I think, was it Young Avengers or something like that?
Yeah.
With Squirrel Girl, Spider-Gwen, Quake, Patriot, and I'm forgetting one. I think Miss Marvel. It's that 5 are doing a team. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting team. And then there's something else. That's just Marvel stuff they've announced through the streaming service. I think they announced some other major stuff for it too. And I've heard that they're trying to consolidate some of their CGI TV shows, because they had, Sophia the First, which recently wrapped, but they might do more of it on streaming. And it sounds like they might even move the 3rd season of Elena of Avalor to that too. I think it's Elena of Avalor. I don't know. Look, I have a niece. I'm aware these shows exist. That's about it. You know what I spend most of the time watching with my niece? Aquanauts.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, and, what's that rescue dog thing? Rescue dogs? Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, the long story short, the theory is that all this Disney Marvel stuff is either going to be on the streaming service or ABC, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has 2 more seasons coming.
Yeah, which is so surprising considering how everything went downhill. Everything went down this year.
Yeah, but I mean, ABC, still, aren't they pretty much entirely owned by Disney?
Pretty much.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, because didn't it go Bob Iger, who's the current head of Disney, he worked for ABC, something like that. I can't remember how it goes. It's one of those things. It's complicated. Disney's taking over the world. Let's just accept it. I mean, even movies that really kind of suck are still making gangbusters because they're Disney. But then again, we had mixed reviews for Venom, and that movie made insane amounts worldwide. So, even mixed reviews on still work if people are hyped.
Yep.
I will still say I love Act 2 of that movie, though.
I know. Like I said, what a buddy picture.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy who always complains. It's like, I hate that this movie I was on is so popular.
Yeah.
Saw that recently with another movie. So, yeah, I guess the long and short of it is just Disney is determined to consolidate their Marvel stuff, and I guess we'll see what happens, because it could be one of these shows gets picked up by Disney for the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently Disney is going to have the price really low to try and incentivize people to get it. I've heard rumors as low as $5.99.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. Yep.
I think that's the lowest number I've seen.
That's the lowest I've seen is $5.99.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Oh, absolutely. Because, it'll have all the Disney Vault stuff too. It'll presumably have all the anime classics, all the sequels you kind of wish they didn't make in the 90s. Not entirely in the 90s either. That happened lasted until Michael Eisner was gone, which I think was 2003. I can't remember when Michael Eisner. There's a fascinating history with Disney, and I love how Roy Disney had to try and save Disney twice. It's like, quick, we need someone new to save Disney. Michael Eisner, be our savior. 20 years later, quick, we need to get rid of Michael Eisner. Sorry, this has been a weird kind of tangent-filled moment, but it was worth talking about, and just the craziness.
No, it's crazy because I'm waking up and we're gonna record the show, and I'm looking at it I wasn't really on the computer too much yesterday, and
oh, so you missed the news yesterday?
Yeah. So I saw it early this morning. I was like, wow, okay, here we go again.
I had GZ on the top of my feed, and I still don't entirely know why.
Oh, okay. And the new Meek Mill album dropped, and
that'll do it.
Yeah, of course he talks about Kanye in it, so.
Yeah, of course he does.
Of course he does.
Yeah, that would explain it. But I mean, yeah. So long and short of it, Daredevil's canceled. That sucks. It seems pretty much inevitable that's going to happen to Jessica Jones and Punisher. I will be super surprised if one of those gets renewed.
Yeah, no, if, like I said, Jessica Jones, by the beginning of next year, I'm seeing getting axed, and Punisher they'll finish up season 2 and then call it quits.
Yeah, they'll be quiet enough to make it look like it's a ratings thing, but it's totally not going to be a ratings thing.
Like we said about the Daredevil, end of season 3, that they did enough to close it out. If they wanted to kill it right then, they could have. And it wouldn't have felt bad. And lo and behold...
I know, because it was like, we didn't necessarily need a season 4, but it would have been nice, and now we don't get it, and they waited long enough to cancel it. I mean, that's absolutely what's going to happen with Punisher. Like, I will be stunned if it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
All right, so let's wrap it up with something way happier.
Yeah.
No, I'm legit, I love this movie.
No, it's funny because you're like way happier, and all I can think about is the scene of piss and blood. Like that's
yeah. Yeah, no, we're getting way ahead of me here. So we're going to talk about Creed 2.
Oh yeah.
This is the 8th movie in the Rocky franchise.
30 more to go. We're just waiting now.
Well, if you remember that joke from Spaceballs, the one guy reviewed Rocky 5000. So we've got Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, Creed, and Creed 2.
Mm-hmm.
James, you want to... You know what? Why don't you give me your opinions of each Rocky movie as quickly as you can? Start with Rocky.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna do it like I love it, hate it, just throughout the whole one. Just name them.
Okay, I'll name it. You tell me what you think.
Okay.
Rocky 1.
Love it.
2.
Love it.
3.
Hate it.
Interested.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Hate it.
Really?
Yes.
5.
Oh man, dumpster fire.
Yeah, 5 is usually. I think that's one of the few things Rocky fans can agree on. Is 5 is usually considered the worst, except for a handful of people.
And even with 3 and 4, I don't necessarily. I'm just doing I love to hate it. I can't say I love them. If I could say middle, 3 like it, 4 like
popcorn
it.
them.
Yeah, exactly, perfect.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are more popcorn, although I would definitely say 4 is more popcorn than 3.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I showed it to my roommate who'd never seen it before, and when it was over, he's like, man, not a lot actually happened in that movie. I was like, I know, right? Balboa?
I actually love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Creed?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I knew you loved it. Yeah. I was right there with you, man. And yeah, you pretty much summed it up. If you change 3 and 4 to popcorn for me, because
I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, definitely.
I'm a little on the fence about 2 though, because there's some stuff in 2 I hate.
Yeah. It's a sequel. There's a sequelitis kind of kicks in a little bit.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
Thankfully, sequelitis very much. Well, with maybe a couple of exceptions, not really on display here.
Yeah, it's funny because this one felt like one of those things they didn't want to do with the original Creed as much as feel like a Rocky film.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it definitely felt like a Rocky film.
Oh, it totally felt like a
Rocky film. All the right
film.
reasons.
Yeah, but it was a good Rocky film. Mm-hmm. It's because it's still probably gonna be. Yeah, it's hard because I would still say Creed is better than this one, but then I have to rank it against Rocky and Rocky Balboa.
Right.
Which are easily 2 of the best in the franchise, and I'm like, I don't know how Creed 2 stacks up to those, because I kind of think it might be better than... I don't know about the original, because it's hard to rank something better than the original, right?
No, yeah, there's nothing on top of that.
No, so it's but then you gotta stack it up against Balboa, and I love Balboa.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I was kind of silly about Balboa was the alternate endings, but let's not get into that.
Right.
They were alternate endings anyway, so who cares? So to recap the plot as easily as I can,
mm-hmm.
I'm just going to talk about Creed.
Yeah.
Now, Creed, Adonis Creed, for simplicity, I'm going to call him that, the bastard son of Apollo Creed. Legitimate bastard.
It's true, but it's so That should have been in the trailer.
I know. Well, because that's the. I don't even think they mentioned that he was a bastard son in the trailers. Like, that was a big reveal in the movie.
Exactly.
Because we never really see Creed's wife after 4.
And
it's like, oh, this is like the son.
They presented it in a way like, yeah, he never met his father, but it was because of his father's death. And not in terms of, like, the way it actually panned out when he was alive.
No, like, yeah, it's like, wait, what? Sorry. Anyway, yeah, so he gets adopted by his father's actual wife, and she's now a widow. She raises him up, and he's pretty spoiled as a result, because, I mean, they still got a lot of money. And he ends up having something to prove, so he goes, picks fights. Eventually, this is plot relevant now. He loses his car in a bet.
Yes, yeah, it actually makes sense now in Creed 2.
That's like the one hanging plot thread they never addressed in the original movie, but you didn't really need to. And they decided to address it in Creed 2. But, yeah, so that happens. He eventually decides to go and tries to get Rocky, his father's greatest opponent, to train him. Mm-hmm. And Rocky reluctantly does, of course.
I say, of course, Rocky was against it for a little bit, but...
Look, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie.
Exactly. We had to have some kind of conflict here.
Well, it's like how you have to watch Rocky Balboa. It's like, in 5, they said he had brain damage, he couldn't box again, and like, with Balboa, it's like, look, do you want to see this movie or not? Which, I mean, Balboa kind of erases 5 from continuity.
Yes, it does.
I mean, and he's still, if you watch 4 again, he does get just wrecked.
He's in bad shape.
Oh, and I do want to bring this up just because it's semi-relevant. Dolph Lundgren sent Stallone to the hospital.
Yes.
In Rocky 4. And it was with a rib shot.
Yes.
Like, he made his ribs hit Stallone's ribs hit his heart.
Yes.
So you actually have to go to the hospital.
Yes. Oh, man. It's just great. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you hear the stories, and you actually see the footage, and like, oh, my goodness, you're so taken aback by it because of the realism. And come to find out, yeah, it actually is real.
They were hitting each other. That was real. What was I saying? Yeah, so he eventually gets trained by Rocky. He gets into kind of a tune-up fight that was supposed to be a tune-up fight for an actual, like, legitimate competitor. Mm-hmm. And then he wins.
Yeah.
In what is one of the most impressive sequences in film history, because it's a one-take boxing match.
Yes.
With, like, multiple pans and everything, and it's like, I don't know how they did, like, Ryan Coogler, who directed that one, like, no wonder he got tapped to do a Marvel movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that ends up getting the attention of world champion Pretty Ricky Conlon.
Yeah.
Who's going to jail. Can't imagine why. So, I actually don't remember why. And he was supposed to fight, what's his name? Danny Stuntman Wheeler.
Yes.
Because, of course, Stallone gives people, like, these, or I don't think he wrote it, but he always gives people, like, these you know, sort of piffy names.
Yeah, I like the boxcar names. Like,
well, one of the best parts of frickin' Rocky 5 was just to get the one character's name, Tommy Machine Gun.
Yes.
Although George Washington Duke was pretty good too.
Yeah, no, I love that one.
As a Don King stand-in.
Yeah.
Only in America. Anyway, yeah, so Wheeler was supposed to fight Conlon, but he gets hurt, and this is the guy that Creed actually lost a friendly jousting box fight with early in the movie, which cost him his car. So Creed gets the offer to fight Pretty Boy Conlon, and you know, that's the big fight at the end of the movie.
Yep.
And so now we pick up where we left off in Creed 2 with Adonis. It opens with him getting a shot at the world title, which is now on Stuntman.
Right.
And they bring up his car. Now, without giving away what happens in the opening scene of the movie, because I'm going to try and be... But I'm going to mention his girlfriend, played by your favorite actress, Tessa Thompson.
Oh, my girl.
It's like her and, what's her name? Sarah Parker Kennedy?
Oh, Jessica Parker Kennedy.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those two are like True girls.
That's what they really are. They really are.
Yeah,
and Jamie Chung is like right in a distant third.
That's fair. The other two are probably more talented actors.
Yeah.
There.
No offense, but yeah.
Now we're drifting. Well, no, it's fair because Tessa Thompson does a pretty good performance here because she's basically deaf at this point.
Yeah. She had this degenerative hearing disease that was noted in the first movie.
Yeah, and she's also trying to be a singer.
Yep.
And they do kind of use it as a joke at one point, but it is still treated very well.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to deal with every aspect of it because there's, the pain of having to deal with a disability, and then you have to also, say, hey, this isn't ultimately pain. This doesn't have to be, oh, poor me,
Exactly.
Which, I personally am not disabled, but I know enough people that would tell me, I hate to say I have disabled friends, but I do.
Right.
They would say that is probably the best way to handle it because no matter what, when you're sold, your child has, or the person you're in love with has a disability, it's like, that can be devastating.
Right, because you don't understand what the stresses is for them, and then how will you be able to handle it? And that's one of the best parts to me about this movie, is just Adonis kind of coming against these challenges of disabilities and having to figure out how he's going to handle it.
Yeah, and if that wasn't enough, this movie's also about father and sons because Ivan Drago from Rocky IV returns.
Oh, man, and he is pissed because Russia just hates him. They disowned him.
I always thought Dolph Lundgren was underrated as an actor just because, his English is not great.
Right.
Even all these years later, his English still isn't great.
Still terrible, but...
Well, it's way better in, the Expendables movie than it was in, say, I Come in Peace.
Right.
But, yeah, which is funny, because he's also a genius. A legit, chemistry genius.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always thought was funny. But yeah, Dolph, performance of his career here.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I 100% buy he's a man who's just bitter for 30 years because, spoiler for Rocky IV, Rocky beats him up after he kills Apollo Creed. Because I don't think we've mentioned that yet.
Yeah.
We are kind of glazing past a lot of stuff that
it's a lot of stuff to cover. And it's funny because people kind of demean the Rocky films for being just so pedantic and just shallow in nature. No, it's actually a lot of lore that we have to cover.
There's genuinely lots of lore.
There's actually lore.
For God's sake, Spider Rico is in the first movie and then he's in Balboa.
Yeah.
You need to understand who Spider Rico is. But we still haven't seen the robot from Rocky IV.
No.
My roommate was so mad when I told him that wasn't in there.
Oh, man.
I was just like, it really would have been distracting. What was I saying? Yeah, so he Ivan Drago's back. He's pissed, and he lays it all out. Yes. Rocky took everything from him. If you'll pardon any real-world implications from the statement, Drago can't live in Russia anymore. He got basically exiled to Ukraine.
He was a winner, and now he's a loser. And he's a loser on a whole different level. He got banished and exiled from his own country. Because he lost a boxing match.
Yeah, his wife left him.
Yes!
With their son. So, it's probably a good time to point out that Drago's wife was played by Brigitte Nielsen.
She comes
who
back
was also
too!
Stallone's wife. And they've divorced. Can't imagine why that character got written so badly. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it didn't really factor into that.
No.
Because she actually shows up in this one.
Yes, she does.
That's not really a spoiler, but it was I was just like, wait, what?
I was so happy the callbacks.
Yeah. Oh, no, because we get a lot of characters from the first movie back, Felicia Rashad plays
yes.
Apollo's widow, and she's still amazing.
Yes, she is. She is awesome.
She makes it look so effortless. Goddamn.
She does all the time. It's amazing.
That's an actress who never really got her due, I think.
Very much so. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yes.
And it's unfortunate that her legacy has now been tainted by her association with certain someone that I won't mention.
Yeah.
Because no, she is a very talented actress, and then of course Michael B. Jordan's still killing it as Adonis.
Mm-hmm.
Stallone still delivering some of the best work of his career.
He's doing so much. Just now, to me, it's like he's had a third or fourth career rejuvenation at this point.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because he had a couple slumps. Because I mean, after Rocky, he had a slump, and then he brought it back with the sequels. Then he had a slump in the '90s. Mm-hmm. So he's had at least a few rejuvenations here. And I mean, he got nominated for the last one. I won't be surprised if he gets nominated again. I don't know.
He deserves it. He really does. And he wrote such a strong narrative based around father and son relationships.
Yeah, because there's 3 main relationships. You get Stallone and his son. Because his son, like, the whole thing is he hasn't seen his son in years now.
Right.
And his son has a son.
Right.
He's a grandfather. He's never met his grandchild.
He's never met his grandchild.
Because, like, probably the one thing I don't like is I really wish they'd defined his dislike of travel a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got a pretty good idea as to why, but I kind of wish he had, like, at least one more line making it clear why he doesn't like to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree, yeah.
That would probably be, like, one random weakness off the top of my head. Even then, it's not, like, bad. I mean, I totally know something I didn't really like about this movie.
Okay.
But they tried. They tried. Because, so we still haven't really got to the meat of the thing. Drago's back. He's got a son. His name is Victor.
Yes.
The guy who plays Victor is an amateur boxer. He's really good.
Very much so.
Like, I'm shocked how well, like... Well, it's like Mason the Lion Dixon in Rocky Balboa. Mm-hmm. That guy was an actual boxer. Yep. I didn't think he was going to be a good actor. He was pretty good in his role. Like, he didn't get as much meat as Victor does in this one.
Yeah.
Because, Victor gets way more material, even though he also doesn't talk much.
No, but they really just showcase how much of a hatred his father has for the things that have become of him because of Rocky.
Yeah.
And how it's just really passed down from generation to generation. Oh, man, especially when it comes to the confrontation. I don't want to spoil anything, but the first confrontation between Adonis and Victor. Man.
I am so impressed with, like, these characters being written to believably have restraint.
Right.
Because, like, even there's another character we haven't talked about yet. I'm surprised this character survived the movie. Because some of the stuff this character said, I'm like, this guy would be dead. If he said this to the wrong person, he would be dead. Actually, I'm gonna talk, like, this is the other probably big negative I have for this movie, and it's probably not that big of a negative. Well, maybe aside from the fact that because of the style change, it's a little disappointing that they went to a more formulaic route, but I mean, it's really not a problem.
Right.
It's just kind of disappointing is all. That's probably the best I can say.
Yeah.
In this case, this character, I really wish there was maybe another scene to flesh this guy out. Okay, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
The manager?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck was his name? Buddy Marcel.
Yeah.
To their credit, pretty well performed. Pretty, solid name for a sleazy promoter.
Yeah.
He's a bit too much of a sleaze bag.
Yeah, it's over the top. Really
Some of the stuff he says to it, like, he delivers it with enough style that you can believe a guy like this exists. But
it's almost comical in nature.
Okay, he talks to Adonis on a balcony at like at a concert that Bianca, his girlfriend, is performing.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Adonis didn't throw him over that balcony, throw him off, is like a credit to him.
Yeah.
Because some of the dirtbag things and I'm, by the way, censoring myself when I say dirtbag, I would just be like, you are the worst kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone will care if I do this. It's like, what did you do? I pushed some livestock over the edge. I was under the impression we were allowed to do that in the state.
That was rough.
By comparison, the stuff with Victor and Ivan, intense, wasn't as bad.
Yeah, it felt realistic. Of course, it's up for movie purposes, but in comparison, that was like for Buddy, it was like mustache twirling supervillain, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Compared to these like realistically rooted boxers who have suffered great travesties that shouldn't have even occurred because of one situation.
I know. And later on, I swear to God, he's like, I think he had a redemption arc, but I don't know.
It was almost one of those arcs where we've seen in other characters where they kind of like beg for forgiveness. They are going to be changed people, but you couldn't really care less because they've been so bad leading up to it.
Yeah, like I understand they needed a character like this, and that they needed they made a point, like this is the type of thing the world expects now, and given some recent stuff that's happened in UFC, yeah, they're not wrong, but it's just like, come on.
It's kind of over the top.
Yeah, like, I've ranted pretty hard about this, but he's such a small part of the movie, and the character and just everything else carries this movie so well, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone brought their A game. Everyone, we haven't really talked about Tessa Thompson's performance. A game.
Very much so. And
Michael B. Jordan. A game.
The situation that they're in outside of the ring is done incredibly well, too.
Absolutely. And the amount of communication they can do with Dolph and his son without saying anything.
Oh, my goodness, the training.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was one thing I think Creed was missing a lot, was the montages. We got them here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, just great stuff.
That song did so much during that montage.
I know.
Because it was kind of a remix of Gonna Fly Now.
Yeah.
It was also very much still in the more kind of hip-hop, R&B vibe of like the music from Creed. And it also ended on an epic chorus, which is appropriate whenever you
have a montage, definitely.
No. It had an epic ending, which is always appropriate when you suddenly find yourself in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Because without giving too much away, the montage ends with Moscow, Russia. Yeah. and for some reason, whenever you see, seeing her in Russia, you always have this epic music in your head, and, the end of the song pretty much captures that. That's also kind of funny, because I think at one point they were talking about running and flipping middle fingers in that song. Yeah. I think I caught that. I don't know if it's gonna go down as iconic as all the other montages, like Hearts on Fire.
Right.
No Easy Way Out.
I know a lot of people already, the Hearts on Fire one's like the major one everybody's comparing it to.
Well, yeah, and of course, Eye of the Tiger.
Of course, but that's number one. That's automatic.
I am really surprised they didn't reference it, because they had a perfect opportunity because in 3, Creed says to Rocky, "You've lost that heat, that fire, the eye of the tiger.
Yeah,
you got to get that back." He actually says that in the movie. Rocky could have said that to him. He's like, your dad once told me that I'd lost my eye of the tiger, or something like that.
Yeah, and it was a scene. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's one scene that was perfect for it.
Yeah, there was because. Without giving too much away, he says that something like that to Adonis, and I'm like, he could have said that. It would have been fine.
They could have said word for word. He could have quoted him on that one.
Well, there was that really funny and cute moment from Balboa where he's talking to Mason Line Dixon. It's like, saying it over to his other. Was it from the 80s? Actually, I think it was the 70s. Stuff like that. That was fine. No, yeah, this movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, I expected to really like it, but I didn't expect to love it this much.
No,
it's just the fear of a sequel. It's just automatic. You don't think it's going to be able to live up to what the predecessor achieved, and lo and behold.
Arguably it does. Just if you don't like that they went back to a more familiar formula.
Yeah. Which I said, it worked though. That was the thing. It worked for me.
Yeah, and they handled the extraneous stuff well, because Rocky, it's never clear how much time has passed. We get a really good idea of the passage of time here, and you mentioned we get a really good idea of what injuries in boxing can be like.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because without giving too much away, when Adonis at one point he's injured, and the description, it's like, this sounds terrible. It's like, oh no, you can recover from all of this with enough time. And oh wow, really? Some of those sounded bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a scene where he pisses blood, and I'm just like, oh.
And that's one thing, we've seen it, in the heart of a boxing match in a Rocky movie, the end result of what's happened during a fight, but you don't really see, the aftermath, literally, after they've left the ring. And I love that. That was absolutely great.
Well, because don't forget, the only time we ever see people really beaten up, it's or probably Rocky 2, where he's in the hospital, but they don't really focus on it too much. They just say he's got a detached retina.
Right.
Let me think. Rocky 3, he has to go and comfort Mick so he can't be too badly beaten.
Right.
And then Rocky 4, Creed's just dead, so I mean, anything else doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can't go past that.
No, and then in 5, it's like, oh, you've got some brain damage. And I'm like, if you watch 4 again, it was like, oh yeah, that's fine.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
He is a boxer, you know.
Yeah, and then in 6, Mason breaks his arm early on.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting... And then, of course, in was it Creed 1, he has, like, the swollen eye.
Right.
But this is the first time they've really focused on rib injuries.
Right. In the aftermath,
I can't think...
Yeah.
Which, again, is funny when you consider what happened during the filming of 4.
Right.
Like, that was one of the things I was kind of... Because, like, you watch him take some hits to the ribs, and it's like, I'm pretty sure his ribs are just powder now. I'm pretty sure he'll have to re-inhale what's left of his ribcage. Sorry, I kind of rambled a little bit on this one.
No, just to sum it up, go see it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, like, unless you really don't like the Rocky formula for some reason, but you saw Creed 1, yeah, you got no reason to not go see this.
Yeah, like I say, if you enjoyed Creed 1, definitely see it. If you like Rocky movies, if you like just really entertaining, action-oriented movies, go see it. If you love pretty much like any kind of movie that shows the relationship between parents and just the struggles of trying to live a life that might not be conducive to family life, definitely see it. Like, just so many avenues that you could take to say, like, this is a reason why you should see this movie.
There's no underutilized actor. Everyone is bringing, like I said, everyone's bringing their A game.
Just really great.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Just go see it.
Just go see it. Go see it.
And on that note, we'll be seeing you.
We'll be seeing you at the movies.
Well, thank you for being here, James.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure, as always.
Yeah, absolutely, bud. And until next time, folks, have yourselves a good day.